had that blazing duet. So it's going to be semi-pick-off and as well as team fight. But GEEK fam, is this carry a forced carry pick?
I would say so because you have two very hard frontliners in Terizla and Arlet. The best way to counter it is with a proper DPS that can burst down those frontliners. And even though it does quite bad against Fanny and Yves, if you can rush that Wind of Nature, I think you can do just fine in a big team fight.
Wow, man. I mean, looking at the draft, it's a very hard draft to pull off for GEEK fam. A lot more room for error for Dewa. They can make these mistakes and still be able to win it out. But remember, for GEEK fam, it's all lies on Boloyskie. 2 games on Cho, 2 wins last time. If he can replicate that, then it's going to be a story for the ages. Choloyskie.
That you're forcing it too much, but I am happy if Boloyskie is going to perform on this Chow. Let's check out the emblem for Boloyskie. Pull yourself together. So he's looking for more engages, more flickers. But here we go, game number 1 of GEEK fam versus Dewa United.
Let's see here. Again, a very interesting emblem here from LeoMurphy. Not interesting, but very straightforward, right? Very honest. He is building towards that just tank. He adds firmness. He wants tenacity as well in that Arlet. Why? He wants to see. He wants to invade. Take a look at this. Oh my God! Again, just covering, providing cover for the side of Reyy here against Boloyskie, who is. Oh my God, who is quite annoying. But then again, it's just the early game. Again, something to note that Watt is somehow insecure. He wants himself to be safe from that crowd control. He opted for that purified pickup.
Okay, interesting emblem here from Reyy. Usually a Fanny player that wants to burst goes for lethal ignition rather than the killing spree. That it looks like he knows that the threat is just way too much for him to handle, and if he goes for a kill, he can get out with a bit of XP bonus from that killing spree. The top lane though, it's pretty good lane matchup for Markyyyyy.
Yeah, pretty good. Again, if we're talking about the XP here, okay, Terizla opted to add more adaptive penetration, but the glue here, he wants QC. Well, he just wants to move around, wants to stay in his lane, and going up against Terizla, it's very tough, right? If you just go and brawl in that EXP, so he understands that it's not necessary. But let's see here, the approach from the side of Terizla. Dyxon hasn't really been as aggressive as I expected.
He's just been clearing out the wave and then rotating over. And now, though, he's giving some good space for Keyz now to go into that XP lane. Both mid laners are already rotating towards the first turtle. Meanwhile, Watts and Markyyyyy just has a little bit of a tango up top, clearing it out. But GEEK fam should have a bit more pressure to play with this. Reyy mirroring up top. Very disciplined gameplay from Dewa United. Understanding they do not have what it takes. Oh, penalty zone onto Luke. Split going to be used up right now as Luke is able to escape for a bit, but it's first blood over to LeoMurphy. Dewa United stealing away the orange buff up top as well.
I think that's a W, Chef, and I'll take a look at here as well. Watch, just using that blazing duet for farming. But again, it's a win, Dewa United. They take the orange buff away. Sure, they lost the turtle, but in that team fight, one member was taken down. That was Luke, and that's already up. Take a look at the economy here. It's favoring Dewa United. Take a look at the talent's prediction here.
Split, as Luke would say. 3-3. Well, in the English task here, Dewa United versus GEEK fam. I don't know why you guys picking Dewa United though.
It's just more complete, right? They have someone that can split push in that family. They have 4 members that can team fight as well and deal a lot of AoEs. Take a look at the catch.
Oh, going on to LeoMurphy here. Good flicker out. Thought that might just be an easy pickoff for GEEK fam, knowing they still have that decimation in hand for Nnael. But again, Dewa United, they've been doing a good job at understanding the assessment and just overall, I would say, kind of outplaying Boloyskie here, who again will not have that Way of the Dragon, and so Watt is free to just walk up and get out. Reyy, bottom lane trying to invade, but on this fan, you got to be careful up against that Martis.
I like the spotlight here to LeoMurphy because we've seen, we already talked about this, the keys of victory, the mirroring gameplay from LeoMurphy, and especially if you're playing against a Chow and you're playing an Arlet, every time you mirror, it's always a W for you in terms of damage rate and also just limiting the potential of that Chow in a team fight.
You know what, in hindsight, I thought that Watt's Purify is a little bit overkill, but it's very effective now. Boloyskie can't really target Watts. The only viable target that is in his target is Keyz, and Keyz can jump out of that Way of Dragon with a real world revelation.
Yeah, because for me, I think I'm more worried about Markyyy than I am about Watts. I think the Purifier was a good option to go for up against the Chol. But remember, this is Markyyy on a flicker, and now LeoMurphy understands that, jumps in. RWM locking him down, blazing duet in the final slash. Markyyy still able to evade for a lot though, but it's still going to be a kill. He walked back into the RWM, flickered back in. GEEK fam still able to secure the neutral objective on the other side of the map. And it's the same story as the first minute. Both teams just trading and mirroring each other's movements.
I mean, the trade, I think, favoring towards Dewa United Esports, especially when Watt gets all the gold plating in the top lane. And if he's a gold laner, maybe getting a turret as well. So this is a complete W for Dewa United Esports. So reading that movement from Boloyskie, considering that he doesn't want to go for protection for Markyyy, he doesn't want to build for Markyyy, and choosing to go for an objective team fight. So good read by Dewa.
Yeah, I'm glad we touched on the mirror play that Dewa United Esports used to do back in MDL. Now, this is more of their identity, right? They lost the turtle twice, but it's all for... they traded. They got the top side. They got the kill towards Markyyy. They got the lane as well. And things are not looking good for GEEK fam, who prioritizes that turtle. Let's see in the mid side.
Penalty zone onto 2 right now, locking Boloyskie down as Reyy moves over, cutthroat onto the back.
Massive.
Boloyskie getting taken out. Beautiful cable management from the prodigy, Reyy.
Dyxon showing Pendragon how it's done with the flicker ult. But in the mid lane, boy might be in trouble.
Oh, it's a dive.
Oh, no one's by wings. Oh, that's good info there. And again, a boy caught here. He has no flicker. That's information to commit the mid side. Dewa United here, comms-wise, very, very wise. And they are looking for another invade. Let's see.
Slam, slam, pass, pass. And that's it. Way the Dragon as well onto Dyxon. Everything used up with a decimation as well. 1-4-0. GEEK fam are finally on the board. But is it too late?
Is it too late? I would say no, because Nnael is not really a jungler that's gonna fall off real hard in late game, and you're facing gets a fanny. Oh my goodness, look!
LeoMurphy now caught, uses vengeance, final slash as well, but LeoMurphy should fall here. And it's Nnael who picks up the kill again. Dewa United, their gold lead disappearing slowly but surely as GEEK fam are able to take control of the neutral objective once again. Turtle number 3 now being contested. Dewa United, they want to go for a fight, but they don't have a roamer. Watt looking for the position, opts into BMI in the back right now. Let's see if Reyy can get there. Nope, Nnael secures it before he can even reach. Luke with the split. Now on to Dyxon. Dyxon brought back to the team right there with a pass and a penalty zone. Very aggressively, but he's going to be into the feathered airstrike. Reyy jumping into the back right now, but it's going to be left out of the way. The dragon from Boloyskie, and even Watt falls to GEEK fam. Luke and Nnael dove deep and found their gold lane.
Oh, take a look at the table has turned now as GEEK fam. They were losing in a losing position, but what happened was they looked for fights, they stayed proactive, and it paid off. Take a look at the carry now. He was behind almost 600 gold, I believe, but now it's just now 200. A very good comeback from the side of carry, and to add to that, take a look at the mark, just 1,000 gold lead. Hunter Strike built, and things are looking, you know, slowly but surely looking bad for side of Dewa United. Can they bounce back even though Watt has just secured his golden staff?
Ooh, I like the Hunter Strike though from Nnael. Usually I'm very confused by, like, you can replace the Molten Essence if you're a utility jungler Martis with a damage item to get more farming, and I think this is the way to go, but LeoMurphy, almost in trouble. Boloyskie didn't pop the flicker, but a lot of respect towards this fanny in Reyy. A boy using that warrior boots also. Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh, stun.
Boy though, for the airstrike, stunning Reyy down. He's trying to run away. Nnael! Oh! He pops into decimation, but it's only onto Dyxon now. A good stun onto 2, but Nnael had the mortal coil. Good escape from GEEK fam, still holding on to their gold lead.
Oh my god, what an engage. Take a look at the positioning of Luke here. Will he be able to catch Fanny? But it seems like no commitment just yet. Again, Dewa United, they need to stabilize here. They are down at 1,500 gold. So what they need to do is, again, funnel the gold towards Watts. And oh my god, does that forces Reyy Oh, it's okay. So Geek Fam here, again, with this lead, what they're able to do, they need to somehow gain more control. Controlling the far lane, especially now the Lord is up. And I feel like Geek Fam has the opportunity to do so by sending the Marxists perhaps downstairs.
Good Shunpu out of the final slash, bringing Dyxon back with the way, the Dragon!
Whoa.
Holy Boloyskie! On the Cho, you don't see this a lot, but in Season 12, Boloy is different.
Boloyskie, as you would say, Mirko, but he doesn't have that wave dragon, so the threat is not that high. But Luke has the split though.
Yeah, just going at it, slam, utilizing it just for a bit. Oh, Watts finds a turret in the bottom lane, going for a tier 2. It's a trade here. The mirror gameplay that we mentioned. Luke is still holding on to LeoMurphy now, looking for more. Slam. Back again, immobilizing him, and with the mount on the split. It's gonna be the real Roman manipulation as Reyy jumps in deep, finds a boy with a cutthroat now as he goes in for some cables. Markyyyyy with a few fadeaway shots, and Luke will fall. He pops in a split though. He's able to survive for a bit. Let's see how long he can survive this one. He goes under the turret, he soaks it in. Watt's still chasing him down. He has full stacks. A boy is respawning now. 10 seconds, not there to help him. It was Boloy that could, but I think it's not worth it. Luke will fall, and Dewa United. Is it worth for them?
No, Geek Fam overcommitted there. I mean, they are trying to commit and catch LeoMurphy. They did, but they lost the boy and Luke. That's not a good trade, especially when you know you already got the Lord. That's not a good trade at all. Sure, you still have that lead in that economy, but with this Lord, it doesn't really do you any good. Now, Dewa United has the opportunity to still and control, the map here.
You can already see how hard of a game here is for a boy, because the dive from Dewa United is just so much, and he cannot just easily execute that feathered airstrike without any kind of bothering whatsoever, because penalty zone flicker, there is that threat. Cables from Reyy, you can also have Watt, the Blazing Duad. So far with how good Boloyskie is on the Chow, 0-4 is a really bad KDA, but it is understandable.
It truly is, and looking at the stat right now, Geek Fam, they're still able here with their power spike, with their power to just do invades here towards that purple, but it seems like they learned from their mistake earlier. They do not really want to overcommit. They need to, again, stabilize with this lead that they have. And if we're talking about the items here, carry all 3 prior items collected, right? Corrosion, Golden Staff, and DHS. So, again, damage is already there. And is already peaked, perhaps, for out of Geek Family at this current stage. It's a question for Dewa United though. What will they do? What are they lacking here? Fanny built that Sea Halberd. Why for Luke and as well as Nnael? I like it. It's wise. So that Luke will now be able to just harass the front lines or the back lines of Dewa United Esports. A very good item pickup.
I think the bigger issue at hand, though, for Dewa United Esports is the fact that Dyxon is 2 levels below a Luke. 1.4k behind as well. This is a winning matchup, by the way, for Dyxon. It's a Terizla versus Blue. We've seen it multiple times, and we always see Terizla dominate the Glue in lane. Now, outside of the lane is where I would say Luke has just been shining. And Nnael, what the heck? Yeah, the Hunter Strike and the BOD. That's why he's able to take it so quick.
Hunter and BOD is a very aggressive, I would say too aggressive of a build here for Geek Fam Nnael, but I think this is just his playstyle. He wants to go for a kill, and I believe already a proper respect towards the physical damage from Watt and Reyy as well with that steel leg plates. But is that enough?
Oh! Look at the purple! Oh my goodness! Boloyskie with a Jikundo flicker! He read that out, and now Boloyskie is going to be caught for a bit. LeoMurphy is looking for the final slash, able to find Markyyyyy right now. It's a real world manipulation, and even the penalty zone gets at it. Markyyyyy falls here. Boloyskie's next on the chopping block, but is able to dash out of the wall, getting out of range, getting out of harm's way. Luke disengaged for the team right now, but Nnael is able to pick up the Lord. Luke diving deep, losing a lot of HP, but is still able to escape with a split. Ultimately, definitely worth it for Geek Fam. My goodness, Boloy. I don't know if you guys saw the map, but he just Jikundo flickered into the bush, knowing Reyy was there without any vision. Holy moly.
That's what I am concerned about here. Dewa United, they need to be able to protect Reyy, especially when he wants to take the purple. But again, they need to defend this Lord. Dewa United, I feel like Geek Fam here has the room to penetrate with the power that they have right now. Boy here, still killless, but it seems like with the items that he has collected, that Feather Airstrike already will be felt by the members of Dewa United.
The damage is not much though, because he has already just built that Winter Truncheon, knowing that he's one of the most vulnerable member of GEEK Esports here. But it's gonna be Boloyskie looking for engage with his conceal. Oof. Okay.
That's a charge down in the bottom lane. They don't even need someone to help out. Wave the Dragon onto LeoMurphy. Boloyskie now caught penalty zone. Going to be able to lock him down for a bit. He has the immortality though. Loses it here. Let's see if they can actually take him down with the real realm manipulation. Markyyyyy is in the midst of it all right now. Jumps in with nature, but it gets cut down. And now it's going to be a blazing duet all the way to the back, zoning a boy. Markyyyyy a bit too far. Third death in this game, but GEEK are still able to hold on to that lead. They'll be able to pressure this purple buff that is coming up. Just try to stop Reyy from being a nuisance.
But it's still a W thing overall for GEEK. They have the towers, they have the turrets, but Markyyyyy though, I think that's not play for him. Just in the midst of it all, from the damage he received, able to get 2 kills, but I want to talk about the penalty zone. Was that necessary to just chase Beloy down?
You know what, I think at that point, right, Dewa United, they need, desperately they need a win. And I feel like going against and commit to a penalty zone on towards Boloyskie, who has already that Immortal, I feel like is worth it. Because he lost his life and that Immortal. So in the next few minutes, GEEK will be able to somehow target Boloyskie more efficiently, right? And let's talk about the keys to victory earlier, GEEK about the mid lane, Abot, right? We touched on that they need to win the mid lane matchup, but seems like Abot here who is sitting at a 0-6. Not a good stat if you compare it to Keyz who's on that eve. 405, again, very effective. They really like to... with the conceal, but...
Jikundo and the flicker dodged away from. Final splash on the 3 members right now, but Markyyyy's still going to be able to gun him down, taking a lot of damage, blazing right on the back line with the nature as well. It's a Winter Truncheon bought by a boy right now as Luke pops in a split, but gets belted down, but the likes of what? Now the flicker forward from Markyyyyy! And he finds redemption, slays Watt, and just like that, bottom lane is wide open for the taking. Dewa United have lost 3 in this team fight.
How does this always happen, Gandhi Miracle? Every time Boloyskie makes a mistake, somehow, someway, GEEK will able to capitalize on that mistake from Boloyskie. How the hell did they win the team fight? And I think one of the main problems there is just Keyz pulling the trigger way too fast on that real manipulation, not getting anyone in his domain.
Yeah, that's a little bit too premature, and this domino effect, right? GEEK now has a 4,000 goal lead in minute 16, and they have the Lord, they have the map as well. Things are looking bad towards here forward side of Dewa United Esports, and again, now Reyy, what is he able to do? He's just split push and waiting for the right moment. Now let's take a look here. Full items already for Clog, so damage-wise, Watt can dish out the damage, but why isn't he as proactive as expected? It's because the zoning from Marches and as well as Farsa very hard for him to jump in, but now he'll play again.
This time no flicker though, so it's a bit safer for the rest of Dewa, but it doesn't change the fact that the Lord is still down in the bottom lane. Now try to be cleared out by Watt as full stacks. Baits out a second skill from a boy, Reyy. With the cables, no purple buff. 3 seconds on that purple buff as GEEK will definitely invade and take it away from Dewa United. Reyy has been placed in this position before, but not against the likes of GEEK.
Now this is where things starts to get hard for GEEK. The only engage mechanic that I can think of that's very reliable is that Boloyskie Wave the Dragon, and he doesn't have a flicker. That's gonna be hard for them to siege the base, and especially when you have a Markyyyyy, you have a carry that doesn't really have a lot of range, it's gonna be harder for you to make plays to deal some damage towards the members of Dewa United Esports. You gotta have to wait for Watt to dive in, or maybe LeoMurphy to dive in deep, a bit too deep too, to make Markyyyyy quote-unquote playable here. And Dewa United Esports, they have all the tools that they need to be able to defend this inhibitor. They have good wave clear in Watt, in Keyz. They also have a good split push mechanic with Reyy. I would say the saving grace for GEEK right now is just, yeah, this play. I want them to read Rey's movement, and they're doing it right now.
Yeah, I mean, very good approach here from side of GEEK. We've seen GEEK leading. We've seen GEEK holding a game. and just completely lose it in towards that late game. So it seems like GEEK fam here in this current game in particular, they have stabilized and really learned from their mistakes, right? I mean, going up against EVOS, they are in a similar position. Oof. They have the map, but they completely lost it when they are pushing, so they need to be careful of that. Dewa United Esports, on the other hand, they need to exploit this split push composition that they have. Let's hear 30 seconds towards the next Lord, the Evolved Lord, mind you. And if GEEK fam has complete control, Dewa United even so, regardless they have the Eve, they have the Claude, it's going to be very hard for them to defend, knowing that only 2 base turrets are left. See, this is what I'm talking about. Reyy needs to completely rinse and repeat this approach, just split push the far lane, forcing GEEK fam, just a member, or perhaps 2, to have control that far lane.
How do you do that without a purple buff though, right? I mean, it's been taken away from him almost every single time, right as GEEK fam took control of the map. And now Dewa United, they're kind of forced to fight or flight. It's just that for Dewa United. If they don't take a fight, if they don't win a fight, it's over. But if they leave this Lord, GEEK fam will just utilize it and keep on sieging Dewa United down. Dewa will have to gamble this. We'll have to go for a 50-50 team fight.
Interesting placement here for Boloy. He wants to read Reyy's movement in camping that blue buff of his own, but I don't think it's gonna work because Reyy already has experience with that a couple of times, and it's not gonna fall down to the same trap. But the trap that they can do though in the bottom lane, because the one who's gonna clear the lane is most likely gonna be Reyy, and there you go. He's gonna try to clear it, and he's gonna. Okay, I thought he was gonna go for like that that rune that gives him the vision, but he doesn't go for it right now. GEEK fam though, in terms of like 5v5 big team fights, I think they have a disadvantage here because you have penalty zone, you have a lot of ults coming in from Dewa United Esports that's more useful in this kind of 5v5 team fights.
They need to split them up. They need to isolate them. And right now, Boloy's doing a good job at doing exactly that. LeoMurphy finding an opening penalty zone, and even the final slash into the real world manipulation. Right. It's an AoE battle. One on the back dealing damage, now jumping back to the BMI, but they're all still caught in the real world manipulation as Luke mounts it back. Reyy's able to find a cut through to the back. LeoMurphy with a good stun onto Boloy, who now uses the shampoo, able to escape for a bit. Luke now getting chased down. Another final slash onto Nnael. He loses his immortality. He buys the winner truncheon, both Luke and Nnael, but it is inevitable. Dewa United are taking them out 1 by 1. Heck, they even got the Evolved Lord.
SOS!
Man, as I said, the discipline is not there for GEEK fam. They have all the tools to make a forced error from Dewa United Esports. They have all the ways, but they're still trying to end here.
Winner truncheon used up by a boys, made it out and in the back. You can't sell anything for the immortality. It's a wipeout. Whenever you count Dewa out is when they strike. 1-0. Dewa United.
Oh my goodness. It's just deja vu. Deja vu, Chef and GEEK fam, whenever they're in the lead, they just bottle it. They choked.
What happened?
Choked big time, and this is why the Lord dance is important. Reyy, he showed it in the map bottom side, but again, he just slowed